You are now tuned in to Hits 92.3, where we take great pride in personal expression of one's feelings, thoughts, or ideals. What you're getting ready to hear on this show are the opinions of the hosts and their guests, and they do not reflect the opinions of Hits 92.3 radio station, the brand, management, staff, their respective advertisers, parent companies, or affiliates. Now stay tuned as this show begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I could hold you in my arms forever, but it wouldn't be long enough. Time is of the essence, yeah, but I'm running out. Why can't I run away from you? Why can't I run away from you? No, just say you won't.
But of course, I'm having lover's remorse. Climax after climax, and now I'm looking for my drawers. Oh, they on the floor. See, I got a pre-rolled in the car. It's crazy how feelings can change between yesterday and tomorrow. Your late 20s, they got you all up in my business. You see, younger women be less likely to question my intentions. You feeling my vibe, you know this shit you came by. Even though it's still shit I can't buy, I'm gon' try. See, these days it's either real friends or the yes friends. These days it's either wear the ring or it's chase my dream. Fucking right, and I got a bad thing for the night. And tomorrow's a different story. See, that's the story of my life. But
hold you in my arms forever, but it wouldn't be long enough. Time is of the essence, yeah, but I'm running out. Why can't I run away from you? Why can't I run away from you? No, just say you won't.
oh, but of course, she always got a voice. With social media temptation, it means I'll always have a choice. I'm psychologically pre-wired to be mentally sex crazed. It got me eating the groceries, thinking back to my I don't give head days. I was young and naive, I was stuck in my ways. She said, most niggas do it and I'm just not acting my age. I know you worked your ass off for that new ass. You gotta show the world, let your phone be the newscast. Give me some more. I'm getting high, thinking of all of the shit that we did on the low. My tenderoni from Tinder be giving the love below. A high key. You willing to try me? You willing to bypass all of my shortcomings and kamikaze?
I could hold you in
Oh, I see.
my arms forever, but it wouldn't be long enough. Time is of the essence, yeah, but I'm running out. Why can't I run away from you? Why can't I run away from you? No, just say you won't.
Just say you won't. Just say you won't.
And I feel like I say that every time I come on. I miss y'all, Hits family. But y'all know if I'm here, it's for a very, very, very special and important reason. I have somebody very special in the building. We have our future commissioner of District 2. Can I say it like that?
Yes, you can say it. Definitely.
Henry Benny Mitchell the fourth. Hey, Benny. Can I call you Benny?
You can call me Ben. That's fine.
Okay. Tell the people a little bit about you really quick.
Born and raised Douglas County. My did a lot in the community, from celebrity basketball games with 107.9. I got to do something with Hits 92.3.
Absolutely.
Can't forget about Hits. Fundraisers with 102.5. Praise, comedy shows, live bands. I used to do music back in the day. That's kind of how I got popular in the city. And so I did so much. And once the person that was in the commission seat stepped down, I felt like it was definitely an opportunity for me to do a little bit more for the people in District 2 and Douglas County. So married, 2 beautiful children, have a degree in mass communications, project manager for a Fortune 500 company. So I definitely do a lot. I say that much.
That's what I'm talking about. Busy man.
Definitely.
So that lets me know that when you become the commissioner of Douglas County,
Okay.
you can handle a lot of things.
Yes, definitely.
So tell me, why politics? Of all the stuff you do, why politics?
Well, I would say my father was definitely the biggest motivation. He was in politics for 20 plus years. And when Corona hit, that's when I really started paying attention to politics. I hate to say it, but Trump actually motivated me to want to get into politics, seeing what he actually done and how he was himself. I was always afraid that you can't be yourself as a politician. And once he kind of set that tone, I knew that it was okay for anybody to actually run for politics. And I'm definitely deep dive in the community. And I know for a fact that I can build our youth. That's the biggest thing about me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to go the Trump way right now. Everything going was like, dang, we might be better off having Trump in office.
Hey. I can't knock it. But I would say this, man. The thing that I would say I like about Trump is he's going to be himself. Most presidents you get, they always put on a mask, they put on a certain role. Trump going to give you exactly what he is.
I'm going to drop a little bit of something. So I had the opportunity to interview, it was a phone interview with Vice President Kamala Harris.
Okay.
But that was the last time I heard from her. We ain't seen, we ain't heard. It's like, it can't even brag about it because nothing happened after that.
Correct. And I honestly don't know what Kamala has done. If someone will put in the comments and let us know what she's done, please let me know. Because
I feel like that was my biggest interview and it ain't even nothing to brag about.
Right. And I actually thought that she was going to run for president over Biden, but
I did too.
You know what I'm saying? Because Biden is not the most popular guy right now.
Yes. So speaking on politics and candidates making it attractive, I guess to say, making it fun for people to want to run. What would you say to people that have no ideal about politics? For instance, we were talking a little earlier, we were just debriefing about the interview, and we were talking about how a lot of people think popular people in office is their commissioner. They think that's their mayor, but they are not for their county. They have no clue who is for what. So what would you say to those people to get them involved in what's going on?
Well, luckily in Douglas County, it's a little bit easier to find out what's going on. There's plenty of websites kind of on Facebook, how we doing live right now. All of the meetings are live. You can just click in and you can kind of catch the playback. They also give you all this information as well. But I would say for the most part, it has to be promoted out there for the politicians because most people, they probably don't have the time to actually go do those meetings because the meetings are during the middle of the day. Most people work during the middle of the day. So one thing that I would want to incorporate is making it to where it's accessible to different people. So instead of having our meetings strictly at 2:00 every Tuesday, let's do it at 6:00 sometimes. Let's do it at 4:00 sometimes, just to kind of give different people access to actually being involved and getting there. That's the biggest thing.
Okay, so outside of meetings and being involved, you look kind of young. Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 33 years old.
You're 33. So how do you get someone your age to get out and vote?
That's a tough thing because people my age, they kind of like me how I was. We truly don't believe in politics anymore because of all of the crumbs that we have received. So I think the best way to do it is to actually be out there. Since I was out there so much, people trust my word, right? So ultimately, to me, you must be in the midst of the community to actually speak on the community's behalf. So you need those type of individuals because most people come into politics, they sell your dreams.
Ooh, yes,
you know
they
what
do.
I'm saying? I know a lot of ladies experience that with men. You know?
Well, you said it, not me. You absolutely said that.
But the biggest thing is the educational side about it. And so my plan is how to educate the community is once a month I'll have meetings with the citizens of District 2 and other citizens to come to as well, so we can actually discuss what's coming up the pipeline, what we can and can't do, and really get a true input on the people and get their voice actually heard amongst me.
And I can vouch for him because the very first time I ever met Beanie, shout out to Allure Lounge,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
in Douglasville. I was on a panel. So they were doing a relationship panel. It was an all-female panel that night. And you came out and you introduced yourself and, you know, what you're doing. You're running for office and you were engaging.
Mhm.
And then I seen you another time on Thursday night. Shout out to P. Joe again at Allure Lounge on Thursday
that's my
nights.
boy, that's my boy.
Each and every Thursday night from 9 to 2 a.m. You came out and you did karaoke.
I did.
So I was like, I like him. Usually, I'm be honest, I'm not a political person.
Okay.
I don't like getting into political conversations or religious conversations.
Mhm.
Those are not my strongest suits. But meeting you in person and seeing how down to earth you were, you would make me want to vote for you.
Yes, and you won't find a politician in the club.
You will not find a
You
politician
won't
in the
find
club.
it, but you will catch me.
Yes. So that was like,
I'm just saying. You know.
so I said, okay, that made me look at you.
Mhm.
And then we went to what is that place? The community center. Shout out to Karen and the women of Douglasville.
Yeah.
She put together
forum.
she put together a forum where you all came out and spoke. So then I found out what you were about. So it was like, okay, he's cool, he's a politician and he's out in the club. Now what is he about? So then I liked all the things that you were about. So I like the fact that you're outside.
Yeah. You have to be outside with the people to know what they want and what they desire. If you're not outside, you're not going to know, right? Because I would say this: you got some people who might major in something called political science. That's what really politics is. But if you don't really know the people, how can you manage the people based off of book smarts? I'm not book smart, right? I'm people smart.
You people smart.
I understand the people, so I understand what the people need and what they desire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, I'm gonna keep saying this. I'm not a political person, so I'm gonna be speaking of people who aren't on the political side.
That's fine.
I do know when it comes to elections, people start to come out in the community. You see them more. Like they're in the clubs or they're in, going to events. They're at the, the restaurants. They're shaking hands and holding babies. But then when they win, you don't see them anymore.
For sure.
Are you still gonna be outside?
Wasn't I outside before?
Period.
I've been outside.
You've been outside.
If you from Douglas County, you know I've been outside. Inside, I've been everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's just I like to be around people. That's my biggest thing. So being around people helps me learn people. Right. So ultimately, like I'm just an outside person.
Outside person. So he is born and raised in Douglas County. Yeah. I live in Douglas County. I've been in Douglas County for 15 years. A lot of people don't know that because I moved to Douglas County because it was quiet. And that's where I want to sleep. And I ain't got to worry about it. And if you're out there past 10 p.m., the police is going to send you the other way. I'm like, yay, because I want to go to bed, right?
Yeah. Shout out 10 pounds. That's the sheriff. And shout out Chief Sparks as well.
Yes. Yeah. But now everybody outside in Douglas County, and I love it. So again, I've been out there for 15 years. People swear I just moved out there like 2-3 years ago because they never saw me before 2-3 years ago. I would hang out Midtown. People swore I lived in Atlantic Station because when I'm ready to party and have fun, I'm going to Atlantic Station. When I want to go to sleep, I'm going home.
Listen, but Douglasville has grown.
I love it.
It has grown. If you're really from Douglas County, you know it was a place where nobody really wanted to be because we didn't really have nothing to do, right?
Nothing at all.
A lot of these clubs and restaurants now they have populated to Douglas County because they realize we have money as well. So a lot of businesses are coming to take some of our money because instead of us taking our money to Atlanta, we're keeping it in the county, which helps us on taxes as well.
And I love it. Yeah. So you're for all the changes in Douglas County?
Most of them, not all of them.
What's the ones you're not for?
So in my particular district, it's a neighborhood our factory shows. It's a lot of warehouses being built around that actual neighborhood, right? So ultimately, if I was living over there, it was a possibility that their property tax or my property taxes could go down because of so many businesses popping up around. Like who would want to buy a house surrounded by warehouses?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's not necessarily where the studio, the Lionsgate production.
No.
Okay.
This is on Thornton Road.
Way over.
But if you go off Thornton Road, you'll see a lot of businesses, right?
Yeah.
So
was it Skyview?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So ultimately, the neighborhood was there before the businesses.
Yep.
So
years and years.
It was there years, but no other neighborhoods popped up around it. But the businesses kept coming.
I didn't think about that.
Yes, you know what I'm saying. So yes and no, right? Because now I want to look at the master plan and see, okay, how can we help these citizens out over here? Because if I was living over there, I'll be raising hell.
Mhm.
And that's what they're doing, they're raising hell. Because
Okay.
right now, Amazon is about to be built over there as well, right beside the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
And what's crazy is it's a data center, and a data center, all it is computers or servers, right? So it ain't gonna create jobs. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like you're building this thing that's not even creating jobs. Like,
And it's just an eyesore.
right.
I didn't even think about that. I pass it all the time and I see new developments coming,
Mhm.
but I'm so used to seeing new developments coming. I don't even pay attention to what's coming. I just assume it's another house or
Right,
another
right. And,
another townhouse
and
coming
I get
up.
that, and I want to make that easily accessible to people to say, hey, this is what's coming. This was coming up the pipeline. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? What do you guys feel about this?
Okay.
Do you want a yay or nay? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think that's the biggest thing, because once you actually know what you can and can't do and what we can and can't do, now you're able to make a political decision.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing, is people don't really know like what we can and can't do.
So that
Yeah.
goes to my next question.
Go ahead.
What does a commissioner do? What are you in charge of?
So you're in charge of multiple committees. So you have different committees like the community service committee. You have a park committee, a travel committee. So you over all these committees, and so you're meeting with these different committees to see what it is they need and how you can kind of help them budget their money that they have, right? So ultimately, you deal with budgeting, and you work with a lot of cross-functional / committees to see what it is that we need, and you're also trying to figure out how can we decrease taxes, right? Because
Please,
because it's
goodness.
certain committees right now that when it gets to the end of the year, they didn't spend all of their money on their budget. So it's like, okay, if you're not spending all that money, just let's cut down your budget because you don't need it, right? Instead of just doing frivolous spending for whatever reason, right? Because you're like, I got to get through this, right? So ultimately, the goal is to figure out different ways of how to kind of lower taxes, right, and service the people.
So you good with budgeting and finances and all
That's
that?
my job. I'm a project manager, so I deal with budgeting, and I also deal with cross-functional teams where I have to know which each team is doing and how we can kind of get this job done.
I love it.
Service the customers. As a commissioner, you have to service the people.
Yeah, because my mortgage went up $300, and out the blue, and again, like I said, I've been in my house for 15 years. My mortgage has literally been the same, and then all of a sudden,
what year
skyrocket.
did it go up? Was it after Corona?
Yeah.
So
what is this? 2024, 2022, 2020, 2023, the end of 2022, going into 2023.
So let's analyze Corona. So what happened during Corona? Like as far as money, what did people get?
Everything.
Right.
SBA, PPP,
right,
unemployment,
right, and
all of that.
And each person probably got what, about $6,000 each.
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, where did that money come
from? Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're replacing all of that money. That's why everything went up after Corona.
Dang.
They want their money
So
back.
it was good on the front end and it messed us up on the back end.
It really wasn't good at all, because if it's like you're borrowing money that we don't have.
That's true. And that you ain't paying back.
That you ain't paying back. How many people skipped out on rent during that time?
Yes.
Guess what? They want their money back.
Dang.
So that's why we won't see, well, in my humble opinion, we won't see nothing go back down. Because people always talk about affordable housing. I get it, but we accepted all this money during Corona, and now the government wants their money back.
The government want their money back. So what are some things, because I know when you all have your campaigns, you say what you want to do. What are some things you know for a fact, if you were in office, you can guarantee to the people?
Man, look, everything that I say, and hear me right, I can guarantee everything that I say I can do. My other colleagues, which I'm not going to name, they're going to sell dreams, right? But if you don't know what's going on, you're going to buy into that dream. Mine is more reality. First thing I can do is crime reduction, right? So ultimately, most crime in Douglas County is between the ages of 13 and 19, right?
Okay.
So I want to create programs specifically for that age group, so they're able to either deal with those issues they're dealing with, but also give them another avenue. I want to create a text message with our police department, so specifically for them, where they can text to say, hey, something is going wrong, I need an officer here now. So they'll less likely commit a crime around people with a phone, because they're text messages away from getting their ass in trouble. Sorry for cussing, right? The next thing is cultivating citizens. I've been talking about education is the biggest thing. Once you're educated enough to know what's going on, hell, you might run against me, and I'm okay with it.
I love it.
Right? Because transparency is a thing. Most politicians will not be transparent with what they got going on, because they're afraid if I give you too much information, then you're going to use that or run against me. I don't care about that. I just want the best person in the job.
Yeah.
If you're better than me, fine. Take the job, right? The third thing is community building. You have a small business, right? So we have something coming up the pipeline that Google is offering small businesses grants to grow their businesses, right? So I know for a fact I can grow the small businesses once I get them the information. Hey, this is what you'll need. This is what's coming up a pipeline. You need to have your paperwork ready, right?
Ooh,
So
you
ultimately,
told the
like,
wrong person there.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's I can keep going in detail, but I don't want to be a politician and you know what I mean and talk that much. But ultimately, everything that I say I can do, I know I can do. I don't have to assume. You can hold me accountable for every word that I say.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. So wife, kids, how they feel about it? Is she political or she just
Nah.
riding with her man?
My
man.
My wife is definitely riding with her man. You know what I'm saying? But for my son, he's excited just to see my faces on sign.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, Abba, look at Abba is his father in Hebrew. We learn Hebrew together. He's like, Abba, look at your sign. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he goes out and helps me put out sign. He ain't really doing too much work. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make
Start
your
him young.
starting young. But
Yeah.
I was one person who was never into politics. I'm not gonna lie. I stopped voting because ultimately I felt like it wasn't meant for people like us. During the Constitution, when it created, where was we at? We were slaves. So it wasn't built for people like us, right?
Yeah.
But when Corona hit and I seen what my father was doing in the community, I'm like, yo, what people don't know is way more important locally than it is nationally.
Like, can we talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, because we focus on who the president is going to be, but we don't focus on the day-to-day things that's going to affect or help in our own specific communities and counties.
Yes.
How can we highlight that?
It's hard to highlight it, mainly because when it comes to news, they only going to talk about the presidential thing because it's big.
It's big.
Even the local news don't even highlight what's kind of going on. They just keep going big because it's for clickbaits, right? So ultimately, man, it's tough, but we have to actually get involved to know what's going on. So at Max, what we can do is really make the information easily accessible for the citizens. So make it easy where it's like, okay, you get a notification on your phone, meeting starts in X amount. So it's like, all right, boom. So now you'll be more likely to want to click to see what's going on in that meeting, right? So also, there's an agenda every meeting. So a lot of times when you're looking at meetings, hell, you don't know what's going on, how to keep up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But if you have an agenda that's sent to your phone to where it's like, dude, okay, all right, I see we're gonna talk about this meeting. Okay, boom. So now you're able to keep up with what's actually going on.
Yeah.
So I'm big on social. I ain't big on social media, but I understand that is a part of what everybody is doing now.
It is the biggest.
Right.
It's the biggest
It's
right
the biggest. Now. So we need to be more social media friendly to get the information out there to the people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I know I have one of my best friends, Siobhan Fleming. She is running for office in Clayton County. Is it Clayton County, right?
Okay.
Clayton County.
Shout out Siobhan.
And we know for a fact it's not cheap. Like, it's a lot of things that she has to do in order to even run. And I'm just learning the back end of this kind of stuff because she's running. How do you afford this? Or do you have a lot of donations? Are you coming out of pocket? Like, what's going on?
Definitely coming out. Locally, most likely you're coming out of pocket.
Okay.
Most likely. Because for businesses, right? For big businesses, they don't really how can I put it without being such illegal? They don't really care about they don't really care about locally. We really can't help big businesses, but when it comes to a Senate or House of Representatives seat, they will want to promote that because they know they can make changes on their behalf.
Right.
Locally, it's really just how much work you're putting in. So yes, it's very expensive, but all you can do is what you can, and God gonna put whoever he want in that position anyway. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So just give me a ballpark to even run, and then where is the money? Like, explain the finances of this, because again, I'm not political. I don't even know how this goes. I know you all need donations. You need a certain amount. What is that amount? What is the goal that you have to have, and then where is this money going, and why do you have to pay to run?
Okay,
I know I asked a lot of questions.
No. I agree with that last one. Why do you have to pay to run?
Yeah,
it's a hustle. We being hustled. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a business in America.
Every single thing, especially Georgia. Georgia don't play.
You know what I'm saying?
Georgia want their coins.
I'm with you on that. Like, why do I have to pay to write my name and say I'm running for a seat? That makes no sense to me. But ultimately, you got to pay that. That's probably about, in my particular position, it's $630 All right. So what's crazy is since there's a special election going on and there is a primary and general election going on, I got to pay that twice because the individual stepped down last year. So we got to have a special election March 12th and then have another election May 21st. And if I win that election, you have another election in November. And if it's a runoff, right, because you have to get at least 51% of the votes.
Okay.
Right. So if none of the candidates get 51% of the votes on March 12th, we got to have a runoff in April. So now I got to ask people to vote March,
again,
April, May, right? Which is crazy. But back
and you have to pay that every time.
Well, you only pay it twice since there's between each election. But when it comes to the runoff, it's like it's hard to get people to come out and vote 2 times.
Yeah,
but it's a possibility I might be asking people to come out and vote 4 times.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bless your heart.
All right. And another thing where money is going, like advertisement, right? So I went to 104.5, my city, bought some radio advertisements. Another thing you got to do is a lot of signs, right? So you want to be
yes.
Signs cost money. There's no amount of money that you can say, if I put this amount towards signs, I'll be good. There's no amount because the county is so big. Right?
It's huge. So, I didn't even realize how big it was.
Yes, our county is the biggest out of all, our district is the biggest out of all of the other districts.
Okay.
Right. So I got Thorn Road, Lithia Springs, like we talked, part of Anawakey, down Fairman Road. So it's like trying to get signs in every corner so people at least see you. Right. So that's another thing. And flyers. Right. Gotta buy flyers. Right. Shirts. I actually created my own shirts. Now I ain't gonna lie, I messed up on a couple of them. But you know, when you
using that heat pressing your own shirts.
But when you're trying to save money, you like, look, I gotta do what I gotta do.
You had them kids out there too, didn't you?
You feel me?
I'm calling the folks on.
We go be out there, you know what I mean? But yeah, there's no dollar sign and say, yeah, if I get 10,000, yeah, I'll be good. And there's no dollar sign on
There's no dollar sign.
No.
And then you think about it, like you don't even know your your opponent could be going right behind you, picking up your signs. So then you got to buy more and put those out. I'm just thinking about like, dang. Because I'm fighting.
Listen.
Let me see you pull my sign up.
Check this out. I just put out a sign, me and my boy Phil. We just put out a sign off of Mount Vernon, right? Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday evening, I seen it was missed. I'm like, damn, like, did we do something wrong? So I went out there Sunday. I went to go check the sign. And it's a metal sign, and it's bent at the bottom. I'm like, damn, nigga, was it a thunderstorm last night? You know what I'm saying? But it shows
just your sign,
just my sign, just my sign, right? So it shows that somebody did it.
Right.
You know,
all the free estimates right here. I cut your grass. All them signs, cool.
And
yours bent up.
And listen to all my politicians out there. It ain't that serious. Bro. It's not that serious to mess with somebody's signs. It's not that serious to try to put your sign in front of somebody's. It's not that serious, bro. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Because we all spending money trying to make this thing happen. It's kind of like you don't want to see your money going to waste.
Right.
Because somebody hating on you.
That's crazy. So while we're talking, if you're just tuning in, we are interviewing with Henry Benny Mitchell IV. Beanie is his name.
Yeah, that's my nickname.
He's running for District 2 Commissioner.
County Commissioner.
Yes.
Yep.
So if you want to ask him a question or you just want to salute this 33-year-old Black man for running for office, you can give us a call at 404-254-4347. Again, that telephone number is 404-254-4347. If you're listening on the app and you want to tune in, you go to Hits 92.3 ATL, or is that Atlanta? Hits 92.3 Atlanta. Go to Atlanta on YouTube and you can see this handsome fella sitting next to me who's running.
Thank you,
So I just wanted to say, if you were just tuning in, like, who is she talking to? What are they talking about? On YouTube, yes. Hits 92.3 Radio. If you want to see us, if you're tuned in on the app, or if you're on Instagram or Facebook and you want to see us together in the studio, you can just go to that on YouTube. So we're just talking about how much it costs to run for office, why you're even paying to run, the politics within politics of trying to put your advertising and marketing out, and why you're doing what you're doing. So your family, you said your dad does a lot.
Yes, my dad's been in politics in Douglas County for over 20 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so you
Yes.
followed in your dad's footsteps.
I wouldn't say I'm following him. I'm
you
just adding a little
you
salt
following
and
your
pepper.
daddy.
I'm
You following
follow-
your daddy.
I'm marinating it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm marinating.
So you gonna do a better job or what?
Well, my dad has actually did a lot. I don't know if you know the widening of Highway 92.
Mm-hmm.
He was a part of the liaison.
Oh
of making that happen.
wow.
Another thing he's done, I don't know if you know about the Lithia Springs Senior Center.
I don't.
Right. So it's a new senior center that was built in Lithia Springs. That's like the most popular senior center right now, where they kind of have parties, they have different aerobics, different games, where all the seniors kind of go kick it. He was a part of bringing that.
Okay.
Right. Another thing he's done,
Nice.
not to even boast or brag about him, right? So they used to call Black communities that was run down the slums. That was the politically correct word for our communities for so long.
Oh
right?
wow.
But he got with Congressman David Scott, and they changed the name from slum to blight. It's just a prettier way of saying, you know.
Oh no, they didn't.
Right. So he definitely has done a lot. So I would want to kind of do the same thing, but just in a different manner. So I don't want to, belittle what he's done. So
he's commissioner also.
That's another thing, right? He is actually suspended from his position. He's Commissioner District 1.
District 1.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's suspended from his position right now, based off of an allegation. They have not found him guilty at all.
Okay.
But he's suspended right now.
Okay.
What job do you know that can do that to you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. So ultimately, he's a part of this political game. So it's always political games being played.
Mm-hmm.
It's always being played. Right. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, he has to, and this has been going on since 2018, 2019, and here it is, 2024, and they haven't made a decision.
Oh, wow.
You see
like 3 years ago.
Right. So what's taking so long? They keep pushing the court date back. Why? Because they don't have anything. If you had something, you'd be like, hey, here you go. It's over with, right? Yeah. So he is currently the District 1 County Commissioner, but he's currently suspended.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes.
Is there a reason did you choose District 2? Is there a reason?
I just moved there. So
okay.
Wherever you stay, that's where you have to run.
Gotcha.
And if I would have stayed in District 1, I definitely would have ran in District 1.
You would have ran in District 1.
That's where I'm from. That's where all the in Douglas County, District 1 is more where the families of Douglas County is from.
Okay.
Where everybody that's where I would say our communities are.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of District 1. District 2 is more like business. People kind of move there from different places. So it's not really community oriented.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
District 3 is more of the people who have money. Right. That's where you're saying District 3, you got to
don't do me.
I'm just saying you got a little money, right? That's where people who have money who stay in Douglas County. And District 4 is more like rural areas.
Okay.
Right. So that's if you have the big yards and the animals running the yard and stuff like that, that's more like District 4.
Okay. Right. So if you're wondering if you are in Benny's district, what are the schools that are in your district?
New Manchester, Factory Shows, just to name a few. If you stay on Mount Vernon, Lee Road, Thornton Road, Anawake, if you stay near Boundary Waters, that entire strip, down Fairburn Road by the Ingalls, that's my district. So if you're around
those, got a big district.
Yeah, I got the.
It's pretty big. Okay.
And the keep it was crazy is the guy who stepped down from his position. We only really, as a candidates, we only had a month and a half to really get our information out there to get people.
Oh, wow.
It's impossible to hit.
Wow.
District 2 in a month and a half.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you're going to make it possible.
Hey,
we're going to help you too.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
All right. So is there anything you want to tell the people? Any information, any shout outs?
Shout out to my wife for allowing me to come kick it with a beautiful lady, to interview me. Shout out to my children, of course. They should be in the bed right now. But make sure you vote. Early voting has already started, and the last day to vote is March 12th. I stand on 3 things: crime reduction, cultivating citizens, and community building. If you want to reach out to me, I'll publicly give you my number, 770-841-5151. Reach out to me, ask questions. I think she posted my social media. Mm-hmm. If you want to just reach out to me social media, that's fine. I'm somebody who is going to be accountable and transparent about what's going on. I'm not going to lie to you. I won't sell you dreams. Most politicians, they're built to sell dreams. And if you don't know what's going on, you can easily buy into that dream. Just think about all the politics that we had in the past that said they was going to do all these amazing things. And when they get there, they don't do it. And we like, damn, like, what's going on? I'm not going to be that politician. So ultimately, make sure you vote for Beanie or Henry Mitchell IV, but I will have Beanie on my ticket. You won't find a politician who's going to be as natural as me. I built my name off of Beanie, so that's what people know me as. So guess what? When you vote, make sure you vote for Beanie, right? So, and that's just me. Thank you for the opportunity. I had a good time. Thank you for those who chimed in. I love you guys, and I think that's all I have to say.
Amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to come out. We both worked all day and then came out here to the East Point to do this interview. So yeah, I appreciate you taking the time, educating me on politics. Now I want to learn more about,
all praises.
I want to learn more about the county, not the whole state and everything that's going on in the country. I just want to know about what's going to affect my household is what I want to know. So meeting you, seeing you out and about, seeing you outside, that made me interested in at least a little bit to get the information. So if you can reach me, who is literally don't give a crap about politics, make me a little bit interested, then I'm sure you're reaching a lot of people.
But think about it. That's our generation.
Yeah.
We want to see you. We don't just want to see you when you just got a suit on when you run.
Exactly.
But
I like how you came dressed down too.
Man, look, I ain't wearing no suit for this. I'm chilling.
I love it. Yeah. So we're about to wrap up, but you did ask me at the beginning what the Lick Show stood for. So you tell me what you think the Lick Show stands for.
The Lick Show. I think the Lick Show means y'all just talk a lot of smack, right? You just use your tongue a lot.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything else because I know that's where you're going.
That's where I expected people to go the opposite way. That's why I did it. Actually, the Lick Show stands for Love is Cool with Kels. Okay. So I talk about relationships, fun times, everything on the show is positive. So I didn't I told you at the beginning, like I don't do interviews to make somebody, I'm not a clickbait interviewer. So I'm not going to try to bring up like things you didn't know I was going to talk about, or if I ask you what you don't want to talk about, and then those are the things that I talk about. I'm not about that. I'm about fun time, good time, love, relationships, friendships, fun. So that's what I'm about. But so that's what the Lick Show is. You're
authentic. So it lets I'm authentic as well, right? We don't sell dreams. We don't try to hurt people.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? We just want to show love because it ain't a lot of love in the world.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy you here to show it.
Absolutely. Thank you again so much for coming out. I wish I would have called in and talked to him, but he did give you his information. Give your telephone number one more time.
770-841-5151. 770-841-5151. You can also check out my website, Henry, Henry Mitchell, MITCHELLIV.com. And you can actually see what I've done, right? You won't find a politician that actually can show you the proof of how they've been in the community. I have all the proof because I
love it. Born and raised in the county that he's representing.
For sure.
Love it. All right. So you're tuned in to the Lick Show on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. I am your host, Kels. We're about to check out. Make sure you stay tuned each and every weekday morning from 8 to 10 with our flagship show, All Hustle No Fear, with the Hood Unicorn, my girl Sunshine on the ones and twos each and every day. And I'm out, y'all. Love y'all. Peace. Hey, the secret's out. Hits 92.3 is now accepting submissions for brand new shows. That's right. You could become a radio personality right here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. You don't have experience? That's okay. You don't live in Georgia? That's okay. You don't know what to do now? Now that's not okay. But your girl is here to help you out. Email us today at hits923newshow@gmail.com and tell us about your potential show with Hits. Again, that email address is hits923newshow@gmail.com. Don't be last. The slots are filling fast.
Hey, everybody I can talking about they want a new thing, a new thing. To the old flame calling saying, baby, we can work it out. What you talking about? Everybody Everybody acting talking about they trying to do things, new things, yeah. To the old flame, call it saying, baby, we can work it out. Talking about, I'm still in love, still in love, still in love, still in love. We can work it out. Maybe talk it out. Still in love, still in love, still in love, still in love. Trying to work it out. Walking out. Everybody tired of trying, sick and tired of people lying. Got a morning, but the devil behind it. Take heed. I ain't thinking I was kind of thought if I bought them a diamond, that their love would be timeless, but they declined it. Crazy. People always losing, trying to find out who you stroking, wanna be noticed, cause they feelings hurt and broken, baby. And that's how love can't be stolen. Got them calling me and hopeful, leaving emojis, got me giving brotherly roses. Take these. Everybody out here talking about they want a new thing, a new thing. To the old flame, call it saying, baby, we can work it out. Talking about. Everybody out here talking about they trying to do things, new things, yeah. To the old flame, call it saying, baby, we can work it out. Talking about. Still in love, still in love, still in love. We can work it out. Maybe talk it out. Still in love, still in love, still in love. Trying to work it out. Walking out. Everybody out here talking about they want a new thing, a new thing. To the old flame, call it saying, baby, we can work it out. Talking about. To the old flame, call it saying, baby, we can work it out. Talking about. To the old flame, call it saying, baby, we can work it out. What you talking about? Still in love, still in love, still in love. We can work it out. Maybe talk it out. Still in love, still in love, still in love. Trying to work it out while they walking out.
Have no fear, the infantry is here. It's the captain, Sean Dean.
And win or lose, the mighty, mighty bad news and tattoos. And you are tuned in to Hits 92.3, baby. The real definition of internet radio.
Now, do you copy that?
Bang.
My name is Dr. Siobhan Fleming, and I am a proud candidate for Clerk of Superior Court in Clayton County, Georgia. I'm a product of Clayton County Public Schools, Jonesboro High School alum, a resident of Clayton County for almost 30 years, raised in Lake Spivey, and now reside in Lovejoy. I hold approximately 25 years of administrative, business, and clerical experience, most right here in Clayton County. Administration is the backbone to any business. The clerk position is a vital piece of the court systems. Superior customer service, organization, follow-up, and increased digitalization is what I plan to bring to the system. Visit me on the World Wide Web at www.voteforfleming.com.